So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down. Embrace the love we found. For you and I are safe and sound.
Hello, so today I have some birthday party DIYs for you. So first of all, I am just in Cricut Design Space and I'm making up all of the names that I'm going to be printing out, and then I'm going to be cutting them out. So this one that you can see right here is for a party bag, and you can see me weeding the background. You don't see me sticking on the iridescent vinyl, but you will see me do that later on in the video to show you how to do that. I didn't realise I hadn't filmed this at this point. So these are the names that are going on the girls' pamper packs for Katerina's sleepover. I just love adding names to things like this because I feel like it just gives a much more personal touch. And then also the girls all know which bits and bobs are theirs, and it's easier to kind of pack everything away or know who's not packed stuff away. So for all of her cousins, I made these cold cups, and I also did one for Bella as well, because Delilah's too young for one. But here you can see me doing Mason's one, who he's not coming to the sleepover, but he's coming for day 2, like the family cake cutting day, essentially. So I made one for him as well. So here I'm essentially making something to present the girls' clips on, because they all came in like a bag. I think it was a bag of 12. Yeah, I think it was a bag of 12 off of Temu. Was it Temu? Anyway, it was a bag of clips, and obviously I wanted them to be presented in a way where like the girls each had like a pair each. So I cut out some cardboard the same size as one of like the lip masks, and I've used that as a guide to create the main background of the card. And then here I'm taking a craft blade and just scoring 2 lines so that the clips can sit in. However, after I did this, I was like, my guillotine is one where like the blade flips up with the thing. So I was like, how about I just put it halfway down and then score it and lift it up, and so much easier. So I then did it this way for the rest of them. I also added the girls' names to these to make it feel a bit more special, and then you can see when I put the clips on that this just looks so much better than just kind of throwing a couple of clips in.
Looking for a shave when it's hot, I've been low key and I'm trying to stop. God, I'm feeling good. Yeah, but I'm off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a best looking at the sky.
So I'm now in Canva and I'm going to be making water bottle labels. I definitely could have gone about this an easier way, but this is how I did it. I kind of measured around a fruit shoot bottle to kind of work out how long my label needed to be. So I did the measurements of 1.5 to 8 inches, and then I just went ahead and created a birthday label. Katerina actually took one of these to school on her actual birthday, and all the kids absolutely loved it and thought it was great. So I designed the label and then I pasted it onto a 6x8 page. And then what I did is I went to free prints and I then ordered a few pages of this print. And I'm so chuffed I went with the matte finish. So chuffed about how these came out. However, I definitely, having done some more research, could have done it in a much easier way and like gone to Etsy and got a label printout template. But you know, I did it this way and it worked absolutely great. I was absolutely chuffed with this. So I just used my guillotine to cut it out and then some glue dots to secure the first part of it, and then the only thing I found that would secure it down was tape. I tried glue dots and then after like a day or so they were kind of peeling up. I tried a hot glue gun, same situation. So although it doesn't look the best, I think it's because I went for the matte finish. I think if it was shiny it would have like held down a little bit better. But the tape looked fine, like no one really cares. They were more like wow about the fact that her name and everything was actually on the bottle. So just bear that in mind because obviously it is a thicker paper.
Tell me how you're feeling since you got me out in the open. Now I'm ready to dive in. I know you told you it would be a slow burn. Beating, hiding, I've been calling out your name from the darkness, thinking it's too late.
Next up is the hot air balloon. So I am currently using plastic maxi cups and maxi sticks. However, you can no longer purchase these because they're under the single-use plastic laws. I bought these years and years ago before that had come into place. So I do believe you can get cardboard ones. However, I'm so glad that I have the plastic ones because I'm obviously hot gluing this into place, but it can be washed and used again for a different balloon at a different party. As it is, I'm going to be using it the first day for loaded popcorn, and then the second day it's going to hold like the blue raspberry picker mix basically. I'll give more detailed instruction in the balloon video, which will be coming up, as to how I got the balloons inside the balloon. And then this is the vinyl that I put on. However, I did film clips after, but my camera decided it actually wasn't going to save them to the card, which is really frustrating because I did film me putting on the vinyl and film some close-up shots, but I didn't realise until well after that those clips actually don't exist because my camera is getting very old and it doesn't always save the footage, which is very infuriating. As well as my camera not saving the footage for that, it also didn't save the footage of me personalising these popcorn cups. But I did this in the offset version as well, and they looked great and the girls loved them, and I think this was one of their favourite items to actually take back home with them. So we're now moving into the HTV stuff. So obviously you've got to make sure that it is mirrored, because otherwise you will cut it out and waste all that vinyl. And I, especially because I'm using the glitter HTV, I always use more pressure to make sure it actually cuts through. I find if you're cutting this kind of vinyl, you need to check your blades. Typically I will put a new one in before I do like a big project like this, because I have been stung in the past where it's not actually cut through, but it's kind of semi-cut through, so it's kind of ruined the vinyl. I love HTV. To weed is so much easier. So much easier, because normal vinyl just kind of sticks to itself sometimes, and then you have to like recut it because you just can't. Obviously, if it's a fiddly font, you then can't save it.
We keep running faster and faster. I don't know what we're after, yeah. We keep up with disaster.
So here I'm just doing the eye masks. We decided to go with initials. I was initially going to do names across the front, and then I was like, oh, how about actually we do initials in the corner? And so glad we did. Looks so classy, and it's so cool. I want one of these myself. I then did a personalised pillowcase for all the girls. So I went with the white one with the blue writing, because I figured that white would kind of fit in a little bit easier to anything that they might have at home, whereas doing a blue pillowcase is quite intense, especially as I'm giving them a blue blanket, which you will see here. But actually this is some girl math here. I'm trying to work out the essential. The pillowcase was easier because I could fold it into quarters and pinch the middle, whereas the blanket was a bit more tricky because obviously it's like a fluffy material, so I'm just using my fingers to measure, and then I'm pressing down for a good 10 to 15 seconds on each section. And these turned out great. However, I do wish I had cut a bit closer to the names, because the HTV transfer tape kind of leaves a bit of an imprint. It'll be fine once it's washed, but I washed all the items before I did the personalisation.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
So this is a party favour, and originally it was just going to be the Bubbleology bubble teas, because Katrina's obsessed with bubble tea, so we wanted to do this as a party favour. But obviously not everyone has the size cup for a bubble tea, so I found these ones in B&M, which you could actually push the bubble tea straw through because it's got like a bigger cross. And then about a week before her party, I found these on TikTok shop that were on offer for £1.29, I think. It was under £1.30 anyway. They're blue raspberry flavour, so I was like, oh my god, I have to. So I ended up giving them 2 bubble teas. I just was sucked in. I was like, I have to do it. It's blue raspberry. My goodness, and I'd already bought the other one. So I'm just sticking the Bubbleology ones on with a few glue dots. and then I am tying this cute blue bow around it, and then on the day of the party I will put in the straws as well. I haven't put them in yet because I wanted to stand them up in a box to store them, and putting the straws in meant I couldn't put anything on top of them. So we're done with the party DIYs. However, I've now got a couple of present DIYs I did, just in case you wanted to see how I did them. So this is actually for her skateboard, and here's where you can actually see me doing the offset vinyl. So you can see me here sticking the iridescent vinyl to some transfer tape, and then I'm going to stick it on top of the black one, and then once it's removed, it's then all in one piece together. So this is how I did the bags, and I did the popcorn cups. And then I'm just sticking it to her skateboard, which was a birthday present, because she was actually doing skateboarding club at school. So it meant on her birthday she had skateboarding club, and she could also take her skateboard. And again, just adds a nice little personal touch, but also then means that like everyone knows that that's her skateboard, and I don't have to like write her name on it in like Sharpie somehow and it look ugly. It's just kind of there like a pow, it's here. And then I did the offset vinyl as again for her phone case as well, because again they have to hand their phones in. So rather than writing on her phone or putting a piece of paper inside the clear case, it's just on there. And I wanted to go with clear case because her phone is blue, so that way you could actually like see the colour of the phone as well. But yeah, that is everything for this video. I hope you found these ideas really helpful, and I can't show you everything else that is yet to come. We're talking balloons, we're talking what's in their goodie bags, and the actual party setup and prep and everything itself. So thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date with the rest of these videos, and thank you so much for watching.